In early 2020, following the cheating scandal coming to light, the Houston Astros hired Rays executive James Click to be their new general manager, and the team has gone on to see nothing but success since. Houston saw an ALCS appearance in 2020, a World Series appearance in 2021, and a World Series win in 2022, all under Click. Despite that continued success, Click has now been fired from the team. No scandal, no bad thing he did or anything. Owner Jim Crane just didn't want him, and Click will likely find another job with the team pretty easily. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to this story. Now, former Astros general manager James Click and current Astros owner Jim Crane never had the greatest relationship, as there were clear differences in philosophy on how to run and do certain things. In an article written by writer and MLB insider Ken Rosenthal, who had sources close to the situation, Rosenthal stated that there were stylistic clashes between the two, disagreements over the size of the baseball operations staff, and concern from Click about other voices in the organization influencing the owner, like former players, for example. There was even a trade that Click had in place around the trade deadline this very season, one that never ended up happening because Crane blocked it from happening. The deal was between the Astros and Cubs, as the two clubs had an agreement to send starting pitcher Jose Urquidy to the north side of Chicago in exchange for catcher Wilson Contreras, who'd head to Houston. According to reports, Crane refused to sign off on the deal, with it never coming to fruition. There were also reports that Crane wasn't very keen on Click's importance with analytics, which has also played a big part in Crane not wanting him to run the team any longer. Click, of course, came from the Rays organization, where he worked for about 15 years, one of if not the most analytical heavy organizations in baseball. So on came the general manager meetings in Las Vegas shortly after the World Series ended, with Click talking in front of the media. There was initial speculation that Click had actually signed a one-year contract offer from the Astros alongside manager Dusty Baker, but in reality, that wasn't the case, with Click telling the media that him and the Astros were having discussions at the moment. A few days later, Click has now been fired from the team. Despite Crane's differences with his general manager, he knew he had to make some kind of offer, considering the team just won it all. So he did, offering him a one-year deal, and Click declined. That's when Crane said it was time for him to go. So what really happened was the fact that Crane was never really positive on Click leading the Astros moving forward, but he also knew he had to give him a contract, so he offered him one he knew he'd refuse. After the firing, Crane was very diplomatic about letting Click go, saying that they are grateful for all of James' contributions, have had great success in each of his 3 seasons, was an important part of that success, that he wanted to personally thank him and wish him and his family well moving forward. It doesn't seem to be a secret that this is what Crane wanted, though, and people feel like he disrespected Click. For example, here are what some other writers think, saying that offering James Click a 2-year deal would have been daring him to go. Offering him a 1-year deal was pretty much asking him to go, and he won the World Series less than a week ago. Puzzling, insulting move by Jim Crane. And then this one that reads, whether Astros owner Jim Crane wanted someone other than James Click to run baseball ops or not, clearly he did, what an embarrassing way to treat a high-level employee. I do think it's a little strange, but to me, what it was that the two sides just had two pretty different philosophies and ways about doing things when it came to baseball. Click was an analytics guy who graduated from Yale, coming from the Rays organization, and Crane just didn't seem to be about that kind of strict numbers running the team. This situation really does remind me of the Red Sox Dave Dombrowski one, when the Red Sox fired Dombrowski as their general manager just about 10 months after the team won the World Series due to differing opinions on how to run the team moving forward. Now, the Astros one is a little more wild, considering Click was fired less than a week after they won it all. But as far as Dombrowski goes, he thought and still thinks it was an unjust firing by the Red Sox, recently coming out and saying as such now as a Philadelphia Philly. I think Crane is happy with what Click has done to help the Astros over the last 2.5 years, but overall just didn't see him as the guy to lead this team moving forward. Maybe more will eventually come out, but for now, this is really all we have. The Astros also just fired Scott Powers, who was the assistant general manager under Click. It will be interesting to see how many other people get fired from Click's front office staff now that he's gone, along with who the next guy will be to take over the Astros general manager job. Let me know what you think about all this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.